Hi everyone, and welcome yet again to another episode on the Unique Light podcast with me, Yannick Furi. Um, ah, we are back again with another episode. I'm sorry if you missed me last week, but hey, it was really tense. It was really hectic, but we are back now with another episode, and yeah, I hope that this episode blesses you and that it brings freedom to whoever needs freedom. But before we get into that, as usual, I hope you guys are doing good. You are fantastic, that you are taking it easy, that you know that God is in control, and that you know that the Lord your God is your healer. The Lord your God is your healer. And I just want to apologize in advance if maybe you hear music in the background. There's a place close by. I don't know what's going on, but they're playing music. They're having something. So please just forgive or try to, cancel out that noise. I don't know how to edit that out specifically, like the background noises. We're still learning on this journey. But let's head into today's episode. So yeah, today's episode is gonna be really vulnerable. It's gonna be me being super vulnerable with you guys, but that is what this podcast is about. It is about being vulnerable. It is about being open with you guys. It is about being it's about being completely open with you guys and allowing you guys to also be super vulnerable with me, but also that you guys can see that nobody's perfect, man. Nobody's perfect. Not that, nobody's perfect. No, especially Christians, especially followers of Jesus. We are not perfect. Some people may think that we are, but we have our own struggles. We have our own, we're going through a lot. We're going through a lot, and specifically following Jesus, it's not, especially in this day and age. And I feel like even before, it was probably even worse because of the way they were persecuted and all that. But in this day and age, it's not the most easiest thing that you can choose. It's not the most. Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's not easy. But because we know that what He saved us from, we have. God's grace allows us to see each and every day through, in hopes that tomorrow will be much better than what today is. No, in hopes that my future is going to be so much greater because of what the Lord has done for me, and not in material ways or whatsoever, but the salvation that God gives you. The salvation of your soul is the most precious gift that you can ever get in this life, truly speaking. Like, that is the best gift ever, because it brings so much freedom, man. It brings so much freedom. It brings so much. It's what do they call it? It's liberating. Salvation is liberating. And that is the purpose of it. It's for it to be liberating. It's for it to just really open yourself up to God more often. That is what salvation is. And yeah, today I'm gonna share something with you guys, but it starts from way back. So I cannot remember much of my childhood, and a lot of it is associated with trauma, I think. That's why I can't remember my childhood. Some people, like my crash, preschool years, they'll be like, oh, we used to be in the same preschool. And I'll be like, what? Who are you? I don't remember that. So, mainly because I just can't remember. I can't remember being in a school with them. Most things I can't, but there are certain things that, and these are mostly the bad things that I can remember, and mainly because of how it has affected me. And I just hope that by me sharing my story, and already I am I'm getting emotional about it because it's just, man, Lord, it's just telling me that, oh my gosh, the Lord saved me, all. The Lord saved me, and the devil started working in my life at a really young age. The devil started working in my life at a really young age, planting stuff. Because if the devil didn't do that right now, I would probably, he knew the potential that God had, or he knew the potential that God has instilled in me, the gifts that God has instilled in me, and from a young age he wanted to kill that. He wanted to kill that. But by the grace of God, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that never happened. Ooh, okay. So because I have forgiven this person, and because it is something that not even my parents, like not even my mother knows about this. I've never told my mom about this. I think and I don't think I ever told a friend about it. No, I don't think I've ever told a friend about it. And I think it's also been a thing of a way. It's something that I always shut out. I always shut it out. But when I was really young, I was molested. I was molested by someone who was like a brother to me, a big brother to me. And I'm not going to share too much information about this person because some people do know me, and I don't want it to be that obvious of who this person is, Because as I said, I've forgiven this person. I may have never went to him and spoke to him about it. And it's really something that the Lord has really healed me from, and I don't feel the need to go to this person and have them apologize, because the Lord has shown this person grace, and he's also shown me grace over the years. So I was molested by someone, and I think I was very young, man. I might have been in grade 1, so I was around 7, 8, around there. Probably 7, because I went to school when I was pretty young, or 6, 7. I was that age, and I didn't know what I was doing. Because I remember the guy was just like to me, no, touch my penis, and I was like, I was really young, so I honestly didn't know, and I just went and I did it without me knowing what I'm actually doing, or what I'm actually participating in. So that happened to me at a really young age, which I was molested by this person, and without knowing what. I don't really know if that is if that was being molested, or probably I think that was molest. He did molest me as a child, because that is what it is. So he did that, and I think it might have happened more than once. As I said, I can't really remember my childhood, but I remember who it was. I remember, like, I can still visually see it in my head, because he was like a brother to me. We would always, like, because I was young, man, I was 6, so would sleep with him, like as a child, you'd always just, would sleep with him. And not like, you guys understand, because of the context, I want to make it super clear, like, not sleeping as in having sex, but like just sleeping with him because he's like an older brother to me, because I had that trust in me towards him that it just became so easy for me to be free around this person, and that happened while I was 6. And there were a whole bunch of other things that happened after that. I think we were also like really we were a lot, man. Me and my cousins now, like, this is now family. And there was this cousin of mine. He did something. He did something. I think we were girls, and he made us touch his penis or something like that. Me and my other cousins. We might have just been two, or I don't know. And there was another case where, like, a boy, while I was a bit bigger now, a boy, like, like but like in a sexual way, we were like rubbing against each other, me and this boy. But we were really young, 10 or something, like around that age, but it never went to sex or anything. And growing up, oh yeah, before I forget, this is also really super important. um I was at I was with this person. I'm not gonna say who it is. I was with this person, and she had a mom's phone, and she showed me porn. And as I said, I was really young. I don't think I was probably also around there 10, and she was younger than me. She was younger than me, but we were super close. And she showed me like porn on her mom's phone, because her mom like just gave her a phone, and maybe she came along it. I don't know how she came along it, but all I know is that she showed me porn on her mom's phone, and we started watching it. And then we started playing with each other sexually now. So it wasn't a boy. So we started playing with each other sexually. And then so that was my childhood. I think that's all I can remember, but so far. And growing up, now that I know that I can access this, and I found out that what do you press, and like how do you search for it. I took my mom's phone a couple of occasions. I took my mom's phone, and then I would watch porn on my mother's phone, but it would never go to the extent of where I would like do something to myself, like masturbating by myself. No, I never did that. I don't know why. Like, maybe it's because I always just thought of it like you should do that to someone else. You shouldn't do it to yourself. Because I've never seen someone do that. So I would watch it on my mom's phone, and I would be so clever about this because you'd always go and you clear up the history. And this would happen on and off. It would happen when I know that, oh, I'm alone in the house now, there's nobody around. Like as a child, you already know when to do these things, how to do these things. Like, I don't know how, but the devil was really playing with me, y'all. And at the end of this, I hope that you can also just see that how the devil uses these things. And for those of you that are caught up in this what can I say? For those of you that has been captured by the devil through this thing, through pornography, that you would also see that the type of mannerisms that you have. And as a child, not even being aware, like literally knowing, without someone telling me that this is wrong, I just already in my head, I knew that it was wrong. It was like when Adam and Eve, I don't know, people say they ate an apple or something like that. But whenever they did what they know that God did not want them to, when they did that wrong thing, they knew that it was wrong, and immediately they covered themselves up. So me as a child, for me in my head, I knew it was wrong somehow, by something. I knew that what I was doing is wrong. That I always did it when I was alone. I always did it when nobody was around. I always made sure that I cover up my tricks, that I delete and everything, so that nobody knows what I'm doing, because I knew that this was wrong. Somehow, I knew it was wrong. So, that happened, childhood, and it happened for quite some time, man. It happened for quite some time, up until high school. on and off. As I said, I can't say it was something that I was addicted to watching, or every night before going to sleep. Nah, it was just a thing of boredom. So I feel like sometimes that I would watch, just out of boredom, I would watch this. And I met this guy, and we liked it. No, I don't know, man. We liked each other. So started kissing, and we never had sex, but we would always like play with each other. And when was this? This was high school. Yeah, this was high school years. Like grade 8, when I started grade 8. So that happened like almost through high school, where this happened. But I would always know, like, something in me would always know that it had to stop at a certain point. Like, it would never go to the point of having sex, because I always knew that no, this is not what I want to do. But I think a lot of it came from fear. Like, I was also always so fearful that I might get pregnant. I would like that was the main thing for me. It was like, nope, I can't do this because I'm scared that I might fall pregnant. And I would always just stop it right there. Be like, no, we're not going any further than this. So that happened, and as I said, on and off, watching porn. When was it? In my when I fully gave my life to Jesus, that is when I stopped the porn. But way before that, like, me and this guy were like, no, I don't want to do this anymore, because I know that it's wrong. I can feel that it's wrong. And also, like, it was like a thing of way, like, distance was like, because now we didn't stay close to each other anymore. So that stopped by that also. And there was this time when I made the decision in 2020 to give my life to God, and having had this with also the type of conversations that I would have with boys, like, what do they call it, sex texting, or text sexting, something like that. It's a word, where you would have these conversations with boys, and that is where it all ended. That is where I was like, okay, I don't want to have this anymore. But then there was also not really that full. Like, whenever I'd see him, we would probably sneak in a kiss here and there, but it never fully came to a stop, up until I decided that, you know what, I really want to fully commit myself to God, and I want to give my life to God. And that is, like, really the desire to watch. I don't have a desire to watch porn. But as I said, I was never addicted to it. It was just something I did when I was bored. But I never had a desire to watch porn. I never had a desire to participate in these things, man. Because I came to a point where I was like, Lord, now it's only you and you alone. And no struggle with participating in these things whatsoever. Because I've come to a point where I'm like, Lord, you take over. Yeah, I'm like, Lord, you reign. Lord, you take over my body. You take over my desires. And now, growing up and being much grown, people say, yeah, we do have hormones. And you see something like, wow, this is a nice human being. But it's also that point of where the Holy Spirit, which you have invited into your life, really is a guide to you in those times where you can really be like, Lord, right now it's you and me, and that is all that it is about right now, in this time, in this point in time. So by me sharing this story with you guys, you can already imagine the amount of vulnerability and the amount of yeah, just the amount of vulnerability that I'm putting out right now, as I'm putting this on a basically a public platform. Like, everyone has access to this, everyone can share this with people. But the point and the purpose of this episode is firstly because I felt like this is what God wants me to talk about, and it has been something that I've been putting off for so long. I've been putting off for so long, but I knew that someday or another the day was going to come for me to talk about it, because the Lord has saved me from it, and I know that He wants to use this for someone else's salvation, for someone else to also be free by these words and this testimony yet again, because this is my testimony. But yeah, that you know that the main purpose is that for me right now at this time, that you know that when you see someone, when you see someone from far and you see their walk with God, not that I'm saying my walk with God is perfect, anything, but sometimes there are those people that look at me and they have this thing in their mind where like, oh my gosh, you're so innocent and you're so all of this. But then this is just me replying to all those people that might think that, to be like, hey, I was a wreck. I was a wreck before the Lord saved me. And I'm so thankful that I never fully participated in sex, like penetration, with anyone up until this point. But I do believe that it was some sort of sexual encounter that I had with all these guys, and it was a soul tie that I had to break off, and I had to forgive myself. That is the hard thing. It's another thing to know that God forgives you, but it's another thing of accepting that He forgives you. And acceptance of His forgiveness is when you forgive yourself. Is when you forgive yourself for the things that you've done. My voice is acting up. So it's when you forgive yourself, and then the forgiveness of God will come easy. You need to forgive yourself before you can fully accept that God has forgiven you. So yeah, that is something that was also super important, that I had to come to a point where I had to forgive myself, so that the forgiveness of God came easy after that. And as I said, I hope that this episode will just open your eyes up and make you see that each and every one of us have a testimony. And for those of you that do have a testimony and that has never shared it because you're scared that people are going to judge you, because you're scared that people are going to look at you in a certain way, because you are scared that people are going to blah 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 blah, because you are scared of people, that you can also just realize that at the end of the day, like me releasing this episode, people might look at me in another type of way, but I know that my soul has been saved. I am saying this because I can say that, hey, do you know where I come from? Do you know where I've been? That for some people, they may use this as judgment unto me, but for some, this could be their salvation. This could be their freedom from that thing that the enemy has been tormenting them with for years. For years, the enemy has been tormenting you with pornography. For years, the enemy has been tormenting you with being in fornication. And this right here is me telling you that you can get out of that. You can get out of that. No matter how severe it is, no matter how hard it may be, no matter what. As long as you fully accept the forgiveness of God and you forgive yourself, and you allow, I feel like sometimes you need to forgive your younger self as well for how naive you were and all that. Then the forgiveness of God will come easy. And that is the hope of today's episode, that you will forgive yourself, man. Forgive yourself. Let God forgive you. Ask God for forgiveness. Ask God to heal you. Ask God to restore you. Ask God to change you. Ask God to change your desires. Believe me, He will definitely change your desires. He will give you new desires. He'll give you new things to look forward to. He'll give you new hopes. He will give you new things to look forward to. But you need to open up that door and allow Him to do that through you. So that is what I want to say today. And I feel so, how can I put it? Like, I thought I was going to feel like emotional. I was going to feel scared. I was going to feel unsure. I was going to feel confused about sharing this. But this is my testimony, guys. This is my testimony. This is the joy that I have to say that the Lord saved me from that. And I'm so glad that this is the platform where I finally get to share it, because I think I've shared with a friend once, one of my friends, which I really trust. I've shared it with my one-on-one before on DTS. But with her, I only shared, like, I didn't share everything because we're trying to get to a point, because I just felt last year that I need to be baptized. I need to be baptized because of this specific thing. Because I need to walk in newness, and I need to walk as a free man before God because of all of this. Because the enemy kept on reminding me about it, but ever since then, it's like whenever it never came up again, because I know that I'm free from it, and I know that my sins are forgiven. I know that I'm washed by the blood of the Lamb. I know that that my heart and me I've been made white as snow, because my heart has been made white as snow because of the love of Jesus, because of that blood that was shed on that cross. I am free, and the enemy can no longer hold these things bound, because when I got baptized in the specific ocean, I think it is the biggest ocean in the world. When I got baptized in the specific ocean, that was a sign of God telling me that, my child, now you are free. You are free from this. Yeah, you are free from this. So the Pacific Ocean, it is the largest and the deepest ocean. It's the largest and the biggest ocean in the world. So when I got baptized in that ocean, all of my sins that were the darkest and the deepest, all of those things, it was washed away by the largest and the biggest ocean in the world. So yeah, man, I hope that this episode brings you nothing but freedom. It allows you to see that God is able. And if you know of someone that is struggling with whatever sin or the sin related to this, share this with them so that they can hear my story, and tell them about me. Tell them about my story. If you do not have a story of your own, tell them about it, and let hope be clear to them, in front of them, that God can do it for them as well. He did it for me. He did it for me, a mere sinner, and He can do it for them. And also in this, another point that I'd add is that, may this also be an encouragement for you if you do have a testimony of this sort. I think I've said it before. Tell someone. Because if you don't tell them, someone's salvation is dependent upon you opening your mouth and speaking upon your traumas. Speaking about the traumas that you've been through. Speaking about the struggles that you've been through. Someone's salvation is dependent on that. So, yeah. I think I'm going to end today's episode right there. Today I feel like we're having a nice long one. It's almost 30 minutes long. So, it will really give you a time where you really get to listen, dive in, check in. And yeah, my hope is that really you'd share it with someone that they would know that it's possible, man. It's possible. It's possible. I just don't know what's possible in Xhosa. But it's possible. Jesus can save your soul. He saved mine. And I believe that He can save yours as well. And once you allow God to just to let God in your life, He'll change it up. And honestly speaking, if it wasn't of the Lord, I don't know where I'll be. If the Lord never saved me, if salvation was something that I could earn, I'd probably be somewhere else. I'd probably be with I don't know how many children, because of something that was introduced to me at a very young age. And also, in me sharing this, my story, I believe that as much as I believe that something is going to happen for you, but I believe that something is going to happen for my family, for generations to come. That something has broken in the spirit for my family, that something has broken upon each and every one that comes after me, that something has broken because someone has opened their voice. Someone has opened their mouth and used their voice. Because most of the time, generational curses continue because some older people refuse to open their mouths and speak on things, because you can see people are struggling with stuff. You can see that people are going through the things that you've been through, but you don't open your mouth and say something to let them know that, hey, you are falling into something that I've been struggling with for these years, or something that the Lord has saved me from. But because you're not opening in the mouth, they don't know. They don't know that it's possible. They don't know that this is something that their grandparents grandparents have struggled with. They don't know this. They don't know this because you don't open with. I feel like some of the things that we are struggling with, our parents themselves have struggled with. But because they haven't opened their mouths and broken these things up, the enemy continuously passes it on from one generation to the next because of our closed mouth. The enemy loves silence. He loves it when a child of God keeps quiet about their struggles. He loves it. He loves isolation. That is where the enemy's playground is. Silence, especially silence upon things that you are struggling with, keeping it in. And that's where depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts come in. That's where you feel unworthy. That's where you feel like you're not good enough because you have been made to believe that you're not good enough by the enemy, or that everyone around you is perfect. But today I'm here to tell you that nobody's perfect. Each and every one, believe me or not, they have a story to tell. No matter how high and mighty this person may be, they have a story to tell. Christians have a story to tell, and their lives are not perfect. We are not perfect, but we serve a perfect God. And don't ever believe that if you're not a Christian and you're listening to this, don't ever believe that Christianity is only made for perfect people. No, it's made for imperfect people to serve a perfect God. That's what it is. So, yeah, I think I've said enough, man. I've said a mouthful today. And I hope that you enjoy this episode. I hope that it blesses you. I hope that it helps you. I hope that it guides you. I hope that it frees you, man. It frees you to know that, hey, to some of you, I might be a complete stranger, but to know that, hey, this stranger has struggled with this, and the Lord has saved her. And because I'm struggling with this right now, it's possible that the Lord can save me too. All you need to do is go before Him. And prayer is not this complex thing. It's not this rocket science thing. No. Prayer is literally just having a conversation. You can be like, but God, this is and this and this and this. I'm struggling with this and this and this. Please forgive me. Please change my life. But have an open and honest conversation with God and watch Him do the rest. And do not go back, and do not go back to the people that have led you into these things. Do not go back to the people that do these things. Do not put yourself in situations and in rooms where these things happen, like be the change. So that is all I want to say for today. I hope that you are okay, and I love you guys so much, and let's meet again next week. I love you. Bye.